Vader's Vault here, very excited and happy to be finally able to bring out the EVO coupler. This is a design we've been working on for a few years with Evolution Arms, who we collaborate with quite often. And a couple of years ago, he came to us with an idea for a quick connect that we subsequently used both on the Dume Canaan replica, and also wanted to use it for a quick connect combat class coupler. It's something that everybody has been asking for years. Hey, can you do a quick connect? I'd like to be able to do a quick connect coupler so I can do dual wielding and staff wielding. And there's been some other options, other mechanisms that are out there from other companies, and we weren't real satisfied with how any of them worked. So we wanted to do our own thing, which is why we held off. When this idea was put in front of us, we definitely knew that we had hit on the right thing. One of the criteria that we wanted for a quick connect coupler is that it has to be strong. When you're dealing with sabers that get used, whether it's for choreography or for dueling or even just playing around, you want these things to be a durable connection. The worst thing that can happen is a connection fail or a mechanism break because it's too complex. So we needed something that's strong and yet simple, because if it's too complex, using it in the heat of the moment or trying to do a choreography setup or something on film, it just doesn't work out so great. So you got to do a bunch of editing or whatnot. So we wanted something quick, we wanted something repeatable, and we wanted something strong and simple. And it needed to be able to be manufactured for our entire range. So what we have here is the EVO coupler. It was showcased in the quick little demo, that teaser that we did for the Dume a couple weeks ago, and people have been asking about it. Well, now's the time. We're here to present the EVO coupler from Vader's Vault. We have two different versions, and I want to talk about why we have two different versions and what that means for you guys, the users. This is only for combat class, and it is only for the sabers that I'm going to say, and it does not work with the Wrath. I know the Wrath is a combat class saber, but it has different pommel threading than our normal combat class just because of the nature of the design. So this coupler will not work for the Wrath. Since the Wrath is at the moment retired, we're unsure if we're going to bring the product back, so we did not develop a Wrath version of this coupler at this time. The two different versions are two different diameters. So the 1.2 inch diameter is going to be great for the Havoc, the Revan, the Acolyte, the Maelstrom, Revanchist, Rival, Tempest, Legionnaire, V1 Furies, and any of our older sabers that you might have. The larger diameter coupler is going to be for things like the Fury 2s that you see here because of the flared back end, things like the Protector, the Promethean, the Aggressive Negotiations, and the Ravager. Now, there are a few models that you would go either way on, depending on your own personal aesthetics. Things like the Ardent, or the Sovereign, or the Brawler. It just really depends. But those sabers mostly. The Ardent, the Brawler, the Sovereign, the Ardent 2, and the Ardent 1 both qualify for this because they have booster sections at the back. And those booster sections, you kind of lose definition of them with the larger coupler. But if you want something more straight across, you would use the larger coupler, but the smaller coupler would give you more of that defined booster section that's in the back of the Ardent or the Sovereign, for example. Now, into the functionality. Just like any coupler, it replaces your pommels. Whereas this is two separate pieces instead of one single piece of our old classic coupler. You're going to replace the pommels of your sabers with each half of the coupler. And you're going to make sure that each side is put on pretty tightly, because this is a mechanism that you're going to be opening and closing, and it won't do you any good if your saber is loose from the coupler and the coupler is tighter at the joint than the saber is. So when you get this and you install it, it's got to be on there tight. Not so tight that you can't ever get it back off, unless that's your thing, I don't know, but definitely want to get it on there really snug. That way the connection break is easy to happen without separating the sabers from the coupler itself. Now, these will allow for 3 different points of alignment. So there's no guarantee when you put a coupler on the Sabre, whether or not you're going to have your perfectly desired alignment, because there is multiple points of alignment, because it can go together in 3 different ways. And I will show you what that means in just a second. However, these were just a pair of sabers that we just happened to grab, and the alignment is really close on both of them just out of the box. So I'm not sure if that's just real good luck or if it just is just the nature of things, but it did line up really close. And like I said, that can change. So when you take it apart, you'll notice that there are 3 different keyed sections to this connection here, right? And it fits into 3 different points inside the other half. So, or I can take it out, I can rotate it, and now we're opposite, right? So I can take it out, rotate it, and now we're back to alignment, right? And that will change depending on how you take it apart and put it together. Now, it is specially ramped in between each key so that it's very easy to, in the heat of the moment, just quickly take it apart, put it together. So there's not a lot of like fiddling around with it, make sure you got it in the right thing. No, it's made to quickly mate. So you can do a quick choreography thing, put it together, click, boom, done. And it's a strong shouldered connection. This isn't anything that's relying on any spring or a rotating barrel or anything like that. Or some of the other mechanisms out there, like I said, we're just not very satisfied with the strength of it. This is as strong as any other threaded solid coupler, but you get the added advantage of being able to do that. So features of the Combat Class Quick Connect system. The Sabre coupler is meant to be unobtrusive. There's any designs that are going to dig into your hand for use, especially if you're doing a center grip, like for spinning. The vents, we have a lot of them and they are large, so we wanted to let out the most sound as possible. All right. So the middle of the coupler is actually blocked. So this end is solid so that the speakers can't aim at each other. So there's no cancellation of frequencies from having the speakers facing each other. That's an important part of the design. That it was important to me because I get bothered when I hear missing frequencies or I hear something that sounds out of phase because you got speakers warring with each other. So it was important to have that division in the coupler. Havoc. That has bothered me about some other coupler designs is having that through-way for the sound to carry through. Some of our couplers, the design didn't allow for that division wall. Our classic 3-inch coupler does have a solid wall in the middle because of that, but our 1-inch didn't. And so this was something that I really wanted to add on these, is to be able to have that 2 separate Sabre sounds coming out of the staff without losing any sound quality. So whether it's the 1.2 connection or the 1.37 connection, both work exactly the same. Both are great connections to do. It's really going to be aesthetic choice on some models, but there are going to be some that really need each coupler design. Not that it couldn't work with the Havoc with the larger coupler, but you would have like a big barrel sticking out, which could look good, especially when you have it in disconnected mode. This would act as more of a flared pommel end. So you may like that, but either will work. Just depends on you. I will list in each coupler product which models work best aesthetically with each diameter, but each diameter will work with either. They're just sized for aesthetics, nothing more. The function is the same. So it doesn't matter. I could put this coupler on this and this one on that, and it wouldn't matter. It would function the same. It's just this would look aesthetically better on this model than this would, in my opinion. Your mileage may vary. However, finally excited to be able to release these. You guys have been asking for them for years, and now we've got it. The EVO coupler, Quick Connect Combat Class system. So these will be live on our May the 4th event. If you're unfamiliar with our May the 4th event, this is our 8th annual Vader's Vault May the 4th event, where we have the largest selection of custom one-of-a-kind sabers. We spend all year working on sabers for customers and for conventions and for events like this, our May the 4th and our Black Friday events. And our May the 4th is going to be really spectacular. We're going to have a lot of really special pieces, and the EVO coupler is also going to be dropping on that day, so you'll be able to pick that up. However, I will say this. The special sabers, if you're participating in this year's May the 4th event, they go fast. Don't spend time putting this in your cart and trying to go hunt for your special one-of-a-kind saber, or try to put that in your cart and then go get this, because you might miss out on that special one-of-a-kind piece. It has happened before, and I get angry, disappointed phone calls all day, and honestly, there's nothing I can do about it. What you should do is get the saber you want first, check out, then get the coupler, and then message us, and we'll work out the shipping and combine it and do all that for you afterwards. So we'll take care of it, but I want to make sure that you get the saber you want and the coupler. Once again, the EVO coupler, the Combat Class Quick Connect system from Vader's Vault, launching this May the 4th, Thursday at noon. VadersVault.com.